I just wanted to talk about things that I am grateful for. And one of the things that I'm grateful for is um, being alive. We tend to underestimate how blessed we are to be able to leave the house and then come back in one piece. It tends to over like pass our heads, and I think that's one thing because there's a lot of families that uh, will have incidents where their brother or their daughter, their mum went out and they sadly never returned. So that's one thing that I definitely I'm grateful for. Um, Another thing that I'd say I'm grateful for is the opportunities that I have. So things like being able to go to school, being educated, stuff like that, being able to meet friends, being able to go out for dinner, go to restaurants and stuff like that. That's another thing that sort of flies over our heads, and we sort of take that kind of thing for granted. And that's one thing that think I'm blessed for. Um, Another thing I'm blessed for is being, or I'm thankful for, is being happy, being joyful. A lot of people, especially post lockdown or during lockdown, have been maybe separated from their families as such, or being isolated, and they developed maybe some mental issues, which meant that they weren't joyful, were depressed, or not happy. So I'm thankful for the fact that I'm joyful, I'm happy, and I'm able to enjoy myself. Um, Another thing that I am thankful for is uh, having knowledge, having the wisdom to do things that I've wanted to do. So, for example, for me, I've recently gone down this entrepreneurial pathway. I'm sort of starting to learn how to do things in order to better myself, in order to take care of myself and stuff like that. And that's another thing that I think that I'm definitely grateful for. Another thing I'd say I'm grateful for is simply just every day. Every day is a new day. Every day there has different obstacles, different challenges and stuff like that, and that's what I find interesting. The fact that every day is not the same, and I can change and grow as a person. Um, that gets up to my next point. I'm also thankful for growth, being able to become a better version of myself, being able to develop into the kind of person I want to be, someone who's confident and not, shy, someone who is a leader, someone who can encourage other people to achieve their goals. And so that's another thing that I'm definitely thankful for. So thank you very much.
Everyone, I want to thank God for my life. I want to thank Him for how loving He has been to me and my family. An event happened 2 years ago that really changed my life. So 2 years ago, we lost our child at 8 months in the womb. It was a really trying time for me, especially, and I remember vividly the doctor saying I would have to push bring out the baby naturally, not through CS. So I was given a lot of injections. I was induced for days. I remember the pain and everything that went through. In the end, it wasn't possible. Then I was assigned to go through the CS, and I'm grateful to God for the success. But I'm not actually pointing this out for anyone to feel sad for me or something, but I'm saying it because this event bettered my spiritual walk with God, and it revealed to me who God is, how loving, how a father He can be to anyone. This event bettered my spiritual life. This is the major point. I began to walk with God. I began to study the word. I began to seek Him, and I'm not this kind of person that would open my Bible. It was actually really boring those days, those years. Sorry, it was actually really boring reading spiritual books that would lift me. No way, I would never do that. But I found out that it became so interesting the Old Testament and the New Testament, and God started revealing himself to me, showing different dynamics of who he is. And I'm thankful for the revelations he has given to me. It's an amazing experience. And secondly, I want to thank God for the recent event that happened in the house. So our gas finished and the gas man came to refill. After refilling, he left the cable on the cooker. So my little niece was hungry and she needed to fix herself a meal, and she, as naive as she can be, she actually started cooking. Then I was inside and I started perceiving something. I was like, what's burning? When I went there, I saw that the cable was burning, as in seriously burning. So can you just imagine, put yourself in this scenario, the cable is burning, the gas is on, and there is fire. Good. I just put off the gas, put everything off. When I picked up the cable, I took a picture and sent to my husband, and he was like, oh my God. Imagine the explosion. I just came into the house, I knelt down, I was like, Father, who are you? Who really are you? What did I do to deserve this mercy? God has been so merciful. I can't start listing the events, but he has shown himself. He said, I will never leave nor forsake you. I'll be there making a way. And I have seen that in my few years on earth. I have seen him show himself. I just want to give him all the glory because he alone can do this. Thank you so much.
Hello. I'm taking the reflections for this Thanksgiving Sunday. I am Collins. I'm going to talk about stuff that happened in the last couple of months. From July, from March, I applied to do my master's at the University of Hertfordshire. I finished my undergrad by July in electrical and electronics engineering at the University of Hertfordshire. But I applied earlier, March, around 17th. I did not get it immediately, even though I was supposed to by May, because, like a conditional offer, because of a problem with the whole immigration questionnaire, and being an international student, that's just really a thing. So there's something they added that apparently wasn't there before, so I wasn't aware of that until much later. So I wasn't able to apply until around clearing, like August. Now, because I was stranded at that point, I figured, okay, maybe I should apply to other places as well. So I applied there. I applied for 2 degrees. But because of the clearing, I had to pick one. So I applied for electronics in Hertfordshire. I applied for control, automation, and AI in Coventry, and I applied for AI, cybersecurity. Actually, 3. Huddersfield allowed me to do apply for 3. So I applied for electronics and communications engineering, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. So I did all that, but I got offers from all 3, but the first I got was Coventry. I didn't get from Hertfordshire until a day or 2 later. So I was then struggling to think of which one I would pick, but because I picked it in such a way that I got the best degree from all the schools. So the schools, I would find the rankings, and then I would figure, okay, like if you use Guardian, electronics was top 10 in Hertfordshire. So that's why I applied for electronics in Hertfordshire, and then AI and stuff like that, they were much higher than in Hertfordshire here in Coventry, which I'm doing my master's in control, automation, and AI. So during that process, it was a bit hectic. I had to raise funds and document checks because my visa expired about 3 days ago. So I had to do everything and make sure I applied to extend it before it expired. And for me to do that, I needed to get my CAS, which is something that you get after enrollment and proof of documents, that proof of funds that you can afford as an international student to study and live in the UK. So that was the thing. Now, because of the whole COVID thing, communications between all universities were not only like slowed down but kind of inefficient, because another person might pick up and then they might say something different from what you had heard and what you were working with, so they, like this happened in my document checks for my class. One person ignored something, another person picked it up. You make a phone call and then you might even get something else, just because of the whole COVID thing. So it was frustrating, but I'm thankful for the calm and the peace to be able to do it and get what I wanted. So I'm thankful for that. I'm also thankful because a lot of it was online. A lot of my lectures are online, so I was able to keep up. I wasn't like far behind, except because I enrolled late, so I didn't have my ID. I still don't have my ID, but I didn't have my student password and the rest, so I couldn't study. I couldn't like use some software we need for engineering at home, since we are all working and schooling from home. So there's that. But I'm thankful that I didn't miss too much. I'm thankful that overall, given this whole pandemic stuff, I haven't lacked anything: food, clothes on my back, roof over my head. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for good health. I'm thankful for strength. I'm thankful for very good moods and skills I develop. Right now I'm learning some stuff, playing the keyboards and some software. So yeah, I'm thankful for all this.